Hi everyone, I want to dedicate this video that's coming up next to Freddie from Stop the Left. Freddie is he has his own website, stoptheleftonline.com, and he's usually one of my guests on my podcast. So I want to dedicate this podcast video to Freddie, who's also involved in getting in shape, and I hope this information will help him out greatly. This is dedicated to you, Freddie. Hello, everyone. This is Leon Cruz for the Intense Apex Alpha Male podcast. Today is December the 17th, 2016, and I want to welcome you to podcast episode number 9. As I do this podcast, we are quickly coming to the end of 2016. And many people that we know, many individuals, as part of a tradition, usually make what's called New Year's resolutions. Now, there are many resolutions people like to do. One of the most famous ones is to get in shape and work out. So for this podcast, that's the one I'm going to try to address. A lot of people who begin workout programs to get in shape usually, after several weeks, give up in discouragement and disgust because many of them go in it without a plan. The internet is filled and libraries are filled with books and information on working out and getting in shape. But the problem with that is that a lot of people have to siphon through all of this information to try to find something that will fit for them or work for them. Well, in this podcast, I'm going to try to help you out by siphoning through or digging through all the nonsense and giving you some basics for which to work with. And this will help you set some realistic goals. It'll give you a plan to work with and something to keep you going. And as you continue to see results and success, you should add to that. Add to your plethora of information that I'm going to give you. And as time goes on, you'll be able to deviate from the program that I give you and acclimate or set up a program more towards your specifications. But like with everything in life, everything has to have basics. You have to start from somewhere. Everything has its basics. Like, for example, those of you who want to study the Word of God, we must go back to the basics. And what are the basics? You study the book of John and the book of Revelation. The book of Romans. The book of Romans and the book of John. Why those two books? Well, because the book of John tells you who Jesus Christ was and is. And the book of Revelation tells you basically why man lost the knowledge of God, what we have to do to gain it back, and how a Christian is supposed to basically conduct himself. So like with everything, there are basics. Now, many people have preferences to certain exercises they like to do. Like some people like to get in shape by using MMA style training, which is a very good form of training. Others like to go jogging or running. But for this segment, I'm going to incorporate what my specialty is, which is weight resistance weight training, which is muscle hypertrophy training. And we're going to cover the 4 basic laws of fitness to incorporate a basic program for you to use. Okay? So the first principle we're going to talk about is strength. All right? That's the first one. The second one is flexibility. The third one is conditioning. And the fourth one is body composition. Now, for those watching this video and podcast or listening through podcast, a lot of this information may be known to you. But you should continue to listen because you will be able to help out someone that may need this information. And it never hurts to go back to basics. And overall, you may learn something new that you may not know. And for those who don't know, this will come in very handy because I'm handing you a basic plan to get you started. and keep it as a lifestyle so that you can continue to work on your goals on getting in shape. Everyone watching this video should have a goal to get healthier and to get in shape. So I'm going to focus on a basic bodybuilding, body sculpting program, which will incorporate what I just mentioned, the 4 levels of fitness, which are, once again, strength, flexibility, conditioning, and body composition. So to begin with, let's focus on the strength component. The strength component you should be doing is basic weight training exercises. Now, YouTube has a boatload of videos on how to do all the basic weight training exercises. For you to follow a specific program, you should incorporate all the basic compound movements for each muscle groups. For example, if you're a beginner, you should be training the body at least 3 times a week, which is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The program you'll be incorporating will consist of a whole body muscle building weight resistance program, which will consist of squats for the legs, calf raises for the calves, basic ab work, which consists of sit-ups and leg raises, some lower back exercises, which will consist of a type of deadlift or hyperextension, the bench press for the chest, chin-ups or rowing for the back, and for the shoulders, since you have 3 muscle groups there, one of the main one, which is the anterior deltoid, which is the front part of the shoulder, you'll be focusing on shoulder presses. And for arms, bicep curls. For triceps, you have tricep extensions, and then the forearms, which are wrist curls. Then you have the basic shrug for the traps, and some basic neck exercises like the neck extension with a head strap. And you'll be doing anywhere between 1 to 3 sets for every one of those exercises I've just mentioned. See, very simple. 1 to 3 sets of at least 10 reps. Once you've completed your weight training exercises, a program like that 3 times a week should take you no more than about 40 minutes to complete. Once you're done with that, you go on to your cardio exercise. Now, cardio can be done 2 ways. The cardio component of your workout can be done after you finish your weight training part, because your main focus is to build muscle, which in turn, the more muscle you have, the more calories you'll burn, because it'll actually larger muscle size will help increase your metabolism to burn fat, because it takes energy to maintain muscle size. So you'll be focusing on weight training first, because also you're sculpting your body. The next component is the cardio. You are to do that after your weight training program, if you cannot fit it in the morning. Ideally, the best time to do your cardio is on an empty stomach, 3 times a week, early in the morning, for 20 minutes. And the type of cardio you should be engaging in is the high-intensity interval training type of cardio. For example, let's take stationary cycling as our example. The way to incorporate HIIT on cycling is to begin a warm-up for about 2 minutes, going at a relatively easy pace. Once you're done within 2 minutes, then you're going to rev it up for within a minute. Rev it up, increase the intensity, and go all out on the cycling. When you're done with that, you release the tension on it, or decrease the intensity on it, and go again for 2 minutes slowly at a relatively brisk pace. And then for about a minute or 2, you do it again. You increase the intensity and do an all-out sprint on the bike. And you're to do those intervals within a 20-minute time limit. If you're starting, the amount of time you should put in if you're starting is at least 10 minutes. Start with 10 minutes 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, separate from your weight training exercises if you can do it. If you can't, then do it after your weight training exercises. And this will help incorporate the fat burning process. So now you have two workable programs of cardio and strength training to help you. The next component is flexibility. On days you're not doing your cardio or weight resistance training program, you should be focusing on some type of yoga. Yoga will help condition your body, and helping not only condition your body but increase your flexibility. The type of yoga I recommend is the DDP yoga program, which incorporates a unique style of yoga that was created by DDP, which he put together. It's rehabilitation type exercises with yoga. Now, if you can't purchase that, or at this time you're not interested in purchasing that, then you can go on YouTube and on their search bar, look up Yoga Basics. And if you can find a way to download those, use those to practice yoga on your non-weight training days and your non-cardio days. Now, the fourth component is the body composition component of the program. Body composition is your fat to muscle ratio. And your fat to muscle ratio is a direct result of what you'll be doing with your weight training and your cardio. If you're doing your weight training and cardio correctly and following a diet, which we'll get into in a couple of minutes, your body composition will be ideal. The ideal body composition for a man is at least 12% body fat, 10 to 12% body fat, and which is actually pretty lean for an average person. And for a woman is about 15%. And if you're following a program of weight training, cardio, and flexibility, you should be able to get those numbers to that level. Also, before beginning a program like this, you should go see your doctor, get a thorough checkup and blood work to make sure everything is functioning properly. And take some vitamin and mineral supplements you can get at the store. If you're not into supplements, I believe you should start taking some basic supplements and a protein supplement, and incorporate that into your program. Now, along with that, we're going to start with some basic diet, nutrition, some basic nutrition principles. As stated before, you'll be eating basic, doable foods, nothing complex. And like I said before, everything starts with basics. So there are 10 rules I'm going to share with you when it comes to diet and nutrition. Okay, for number one, you should consume at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now, a lot of people, a lot of experts, and a lot of good people in the internet and who write articles for books and magazines usually give different opinions on this. So this is not set in stone. But again, to help you out and give you something basic to start with, 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein is ideal in terms of giving you something to start with basically. So once again, consume 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. The next thing you should be doing is get at least 20 to 30% of your daily calories from some type of fat, like flax oil, fish oils, avocado, peanut butter. Okay? Consume 20 calories per pound of body weight to start with. Remember, you don't want to go strictly on a diet to lose anything so fast that it's going to turn you off to your new lifestyle of getting in shape. This is what turns people off when they start making these New Year's resolutions. They don't know how to diet. So the best way to start is to break your plate up into thirds. You have protein, a fibrous vegetable, and a basic carbohydrate like a sweet potato or something like that. And make sure you're consuming 20 calories per pound of body weight. For example, if you weigh 200 pounds, a 200-pound person, that will come out to about 2,000. I don't have the math in front of me here. 2,200 calories. That's 20 Yeah, that's about 20 calories per pound of body weight. Something like that. And then what you could do is every week knock off 100 or 200 calories until you reach your ideal caloric intake for a person. If it's a woman, it would be about 1,200 calories. If it's a guy, I would say it's about 1,800 calories once you chop it down to that. But you want to start off with at least 20 calories per pound of body weight. Okay. Next, eat the right carbs around your workouts. Now, what are the right carbs? The right carbs would be, again, as mentioned before, a type of complex carbohydrate like a baked potato or sweet potato. Number 6, drink a shake pre and post workout. That's always good to do. Let's see. Number 7, eat every 2 to 3 hours if you can. You should be eating your 5 to 6 meals a day every 2 to 3 hours if you can. If not, you start out by eating 3 with 2 snacks to make it a lot more easier for you. And then you can slowly work your way up from there. The next tip, eat a little bit before bedtime, like a protein drink. This will help feed your body and the musculature you're trying to build. Okay, number 9, add 5 to 10 grams of branched chain amino acids to your protein shakes. And the last one, add some creatine or glutamine to your protein drinks if you can. Now, if you don't want to buy supplements, the best advice I could give you is you should get a good quality whey protein and a good vitamin mineral supplement to start out. And the foods you should eat the type of proteins you should be consuming is chicken breast, lean cuts of beef, tuna, eggs. Those are relatively not cheap, but reasonably priced protein foods. The type of carbs you should be consuming is like sweet potatoes, brown rice, and whole wheat pasta. But the protein should always supersede the carbohydrates. And the type of fats you should be consuming would be like avocados, peanut butter, flaxseed oil, olive oil. Okay? So you should be including those things into your diet. What I will be doing along on this video, underneath it, if you're watching it on my website, you'll be able to download some PDF information on the training, and you could listen to this podcast again and take some notes, write it down. So if you're going to be training 3 times a week, you'll be able to use the whole body conditioning workout. If you're going to use a double split program, then training 4 to 6 weeks would be ideal for that type of program. And you'll be able to find samples of that underneath this video. Also, when it comes to the diet and nutrition part, I've included the Universal Bodybuilding program. There's a really nice section on there that shows you all the major foods that will constitute a healthy diet, which you'll be consuming 3 to 6 times a day, every 2 to 3 hours. I hope this helps you out for the coming year. And this is just a brief brush through to the basics to help you begin a lifestyle of staying healthy and getting in shape. I hope everyone watching this video will take this into consideration. Will visit my website at www.intenseapexalphamale.com. I have a lot of free information and programs there that you can download to read. I also advise you to check out some nice resources I have here. Books. One of the best books that I like is Body for Life by Bill Phillips. Then you have The Lean Body by Lila Brada, who was Mr. Universe. Excellent book. And then the last one is The Truth by Frank Seppi, which incorporates everything I just spoke about here in greater detail. I'm going to give you some good websites to visit, but once again, I don't want to bog you down with too much information because it can get confusing. So the first website is bodybuilding.com. The second one is my website, intenseapexalphamale.com. You have YouTube at your fingertips. You can get a lot of good instruction there on how to execute the exercises I just mentioned. Beachbody.com is an excellent company that has produced a plethora of workout programs. I'll be discussing many of these programs in future videos, getting down to them into detail, even though I'm not one of I don't participate in the coaching program, so I'll be actually giving you my input from a consumer's perspective. Athlean X is an excellent website. Jeff Cavalieri is a pro athlete trainer and physical therapist. That's his website. You have rosstraining.com and sixpacksecrets.com. And the trainers to follow that give a lot of great information. I know there are many, but this is just a small little tidbit, so it's not to confuse you. The first one is Joe DeFranco. He's a strength trainer. He trains, his specifically, his specialty is football players, baseball players, wrestlers, MMA fighters, and he has worked closely with the WWE in creating programs for the wrestlers to prevent injury and get them back into performing in the ring. You also have Tony Horton, who's the creator of P90X and works for Beachbody. He has a group of a really nice YouTube channel. You can get a lot of free videos there. You can learn a lot from him. Mike Chang, like I mentioned before, and Ross Animate also. So there you have some resources that I think are very valuable. Once again, like I said, there are many, but this will help you get off to a good start. And I'll be coming back once again to give you more information. So I hope you make use of this video and let me correspond with me through my website and let me know what you think. And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope you do not do like most Americans do. They make all these resolutions and wind up keeping none. Make a resolution to follow this information I just gave you. Start slow, simple, and build up from there. Okay, so I hope to talk to you again soon. God bless you all. Hi everyone, I want to make a correction with the math that I just gave. 20 calories per pound of body weight for a 200-pound man comes out to about 4,000 calories. So my advice to you would be to start with 10 calories per pound of body weight. If you're a 200-pound man, that comes out to 2,000 calories, which is more doable. Okay, so that was a mistake that I made. If you want to start off with 20, that'll give you 4,000 calories per day. You would have to break that up by six meals, which comes out to about 667 calories per meal. What you would want to do is start with half of that. And also, you want to be able to prepare your meals ahead of time so that you could know what you're going to be having. You have to plan to succeed. This is not going to happen by accident.